taking your phone calls on why there isn't a bigger Purdy party that has started. I don't know about you, but I don't see rookie NFL QBs walk in and go 10-0 very often. And I get this. I actually want it this way. It feels like the party is much more team-centric for the 49ers, and that's a good thing. But when we look at individuals in sports and the way they capture our attention, from a Jeremy Lin, from what Deion Sanders is doing right now, even his son, Shedeur Sanders, who has become a huge name just in the last few weeks in college football circles. When you look at individuals and the way Shohei Ohtani, when they capture your attention because they're doing something that you've never seen before, I'm wondering the reasons you think that it doesn't feel that way for a seventh-round rookie who walks in at age 23 and has never lost a football game. So that discussion, your calls on that here is what we're doing. Also want to let you know, we are, as we've been doing every day this week, giving away a pair of tickets to see Adam Sandler in October at SAP Center. The giveaway is every day this week, so this is chance 4. You'll get another one tomorrow, all courtesy of Live Nation. Make sure you're listening in the 4 o'clock hour for your chance to win. Also want to let you know that both JD and Larry Krueger, our teammates, will stop by today and get us ready for this game.
Yeah, your Purdy question's an interesting one. And as we are looking at this tailgate, and I see probably 50 people in Niner jerseys, and so far I've seen one wearing Brock Purdy.
One.
And I see a lot of Kittle, a ton of McCaffrey, and you see some throwbacks.
Yeah,
and Patrick
Willis right
Joe Montana right now is getting the Michelob Ultra.
There's another Joe Montana who's already had a few over there.
T.O. just stood up with a ponytail. And I'm not going to try to define the gender because we're all just people out here rooting for the 49ers. But the greater point is I don't see a ton of Brock Purdy. So even as we talk about nationally, why doesn't he get his just desserts? Even here in the fan base, I don't think that people have really, and I know many fans are believers in Brock Purdy, and they think that he's the guy.
For sure.
And all that, but it hasn't yet trickled down to the jersey sales and the full-scale idolatry that you normally would get from a Niner quarterback who's been this good.
Greg Smith on our YouTube just sent something in. Maybe he's kidding. He says Purdy jerseys are too expensive. I mean, the jersey price is pretty much the same, right? No matter who the player is.
Should be.
I'll add this, though, and you know this. I've got 2 boys at home who are very, very focused on 49er jerseys.
Yeah.
They and Giants jerseys and Warriors jerseys. Like
Debo just walked by with a couple of Bud Lights.
Perfect. Did he run into somebody?
Nick Bosa's over there to the left creating
contact
clouds.
Okay. But I get this. Like right now, a young 49er fan who wants a jersey, Purdy is not one of the top 2 or 3 or maybe even 4.
Not 5, not 6.
Well, what do you think it is?
Not 7.
I would bet if you were to do jersey rankings right now, go into a room full of middle school Niner fans and be like, okay, who do you want? I think McCaffrey is probably number 1.
Sure.
I think Debo is probably number 2.
Okay.
I can't really tell right now between Ayuk and Kittle who's 3 and 4, but
Nick Bosa?
I think they're 3 and 4. A good call. Maybe Nick Bosa's number 3. Kittle and Ayuk, I think those names all might come up, although Ayuk is probably a little harder to find at this point. But I think all those names come up before Brock Purdy, and I get it. And maybe this is part of it. Is it simply that what he doesn't physically overwhelm your eyes? What he does on a field is that there isn't where's the rocket arm or the unbelievable feet or the huge size or the what have you.
Just the highlight play. His highlight play is usually making the right read, throwing it to a guy who does spectacular things. Think about this last game.
Okay.
Deebo Samuel and was that a touchdown run or was it a touchdown catch? I still don't know.
Turned into a run.
Okay.
It was called a run. It was called a catch.
That was a run. Brock Purdy gets the ball and gets it to Deebo, and Deebo does Deebo things. He does his little short step moves and like juke one guy, roll over another, and a touchdown.
But Mahomes did that to Tyreek Hill all the time.
But Mahomes goes underhand behind the back, and Mahomes does crazy things.
I get it, but I just
Brock Purdy doesn't do things that are like highlight worthy.
But Jimmy and Brock, it was held against them often. Oh, you just tossed it out to Debo, and then he did all the work. Josh Allen does that. Patrick Mahomes does that. Jalen Hurts, for God's sakes, does that. And
But they do other things.
They do, I get that. But we don't hold that against them. You'll get to the end of the game and be like, he threw for 320 yards and had 3 touchdowns. It's like, yeah, Tyreek Hill's the one who's out of breath.
Sure.
But okay.
Brock has thrown for 300 yards once, right?
I'm not saying he's the physical presence of Mahomes or Allen. I am saying that his record is better than theirs.
His record is impeccable, but his record is the exact same as Debo's record in those games and Kittle's record in those games and Spencer Burford's record in those games.
Look, I'm a Niner fan.
I had to go Burford on you to bring the point home.
I love the offensive line. You've seen the numbers for Aaron Banks this year?
He's been amazing.
Remember Aaron Banks?
Are you going Pro Football Focus on me?
No, I'm going facts, Jack.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Do you know, if you want to get all of the offensive lineman stats that you can compile, whatever you want them to be, pressures, holding calls, trips and falls into Jordan Love, whatever the hell you want to... The answer is 0. That's how many Aaron Banks has.
On Aaron Banks,
for all of them.
Yeah.
He's literally played mistake-free football.
He's not a lot of pressure or a slip and fall.
No penalties.
No penalties.
No nothing.
No fuss, no muss.
Nothing.
The old Johnny Bench Krylon commercial.
Nothing, honey.
No runs, no drips, no errors.
Exactly right. Yeah, no, listen, I
before your time.
I'm not trying to put him on the plane of any other QB. I hate the comparisons. I just want to know why there isn't a bigger Linsanity type feel when a seventh-round Mr. Irrelevant draft pick walks into the NFL, and in fact, when he started, he was forced to go into the game. Why there isn't a bigger buzz about starting a career 10-0, including 2 playoff wins?
Yeah, it's because of those things that I laid out already in terms of his perceived impact on those wins. His perceived impact on those wins is not as great as other players on the team, and other players on the team have those same wins. And so you look at Brock Purdy, and yeah, he's been great. He's been wonderful.
He looks fantastic.
He looks amazing, but he doesn't do things that are like make your jaw drop highlight plays. He's very efficient. He's quietly effective, and he wins games.
Did Tom Brady do those things?
No, but Tom Brady's highlight reel became him holding up the Lombardi Trophy.
Absolutely.
And that's why if Tom Brady never won a Super Bowl, then you would look at his highlight reel and he wouldn't have one. His biggest highlight is the tuck play.
But I bet I could do this with a lot of quarterbacks. What's Joe Burrow's highlight reel?
He doesn't really have one.
Okay, but we put him right in that sentence.
Right, because he was highly drafted.
Burrow, Hurts.
He was highly drafted, and he throws for more yards, and he's got a more dynamic offense, and he does more things. And that's
okay.
You know, he throws the ball further down the field. Stats and also his receivers and the way he throws the ball.
He's got a great receiving core.
Brock Purdy tends to throw the ball shorter distances, and the big plays that this offense makes, it seems like the highlights are the other players in the highlight.
Yeah, I mean, largely I think that a lot of the things that we say there have been disproven. The idea of the ball traveling in the air, that is not necessarily, Brock Purdy is not down at the bottom like people seem to think he is. Joe Burrow throws short outs to Jamar Chase, and Mahomes did it with Hill. And Allen does it with Diggs, and Purdy does it with Debo and Ayuk. No doubt about it. I get a lot of what you're saying. I totally get it. However, I will continue to believe that this is draftism, and there is too quiet of a sound about a rookie quarterback winning his first 10 games in the NFL. That is not a believable story. It's just not. And it's happening, and we're all kind of like, yeah, because Christian McCaffrey. Like Christian McCaffrey played with an MVP at quarterback. They didn't do anything like this. Not even close.